Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the United Student Movement's Debates 2023, live at Northern Caribbean University from the Gymnatorium. Please rise for our national anthem and opening prayer.
Let us pray. Dear Father, I thank you for another time that we get to gather together to display the creativity and the intellectual vitality undergirding debates. Help that today's proceedings will be memorable, that the participants will grow as a result, and that all of us here sitting will learn something new today. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you this afternoon our Master of Ceremonies for competition, Mrs. Katrina Grant de Aguilar. Katrina hails from the beautiful parish of Westmoreland and is known for her highly energetic yet professional demeanor by many. She is highly sought after by many for her event hosting and public speaking skills all across the country. She believes in service above self and strives to become a better version of herself every day by empowering herself through personal development, self-reflection, and practicing an attitude of gratitude. Katrina has represented Jamaica as cultural ambassador and Miss Jamaica Festival Queen in 2008, the first queen from the parish of Westmoreland to win the national title. A past student of Northern Caribbean University, Katrina graduated with her Bachelor of Science in Finance and later went on to pursue her Master in Business Administration at Mona School of Business. Her hobbies include writing poetry, dramatic scripts, and serving as a volunteer. She currently serves as the Group Marketing and Communications Manager at Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League Limited. This afternoon, put your hands together and happily welcome our girl of the soil, the vivacious, effervescent Katrina Grant de Aguilar.
Is it still afternoon? I can say afternoon, right? Good afternoon, NCU. No, man, I'm home after many years. So, good afternoon, NCU. It is an amazing experience just driving through the gate earlier, just memories flashing through my mind. And when I looked up and I saw Steps to Christ, instantly my knees started hurting. But memories are good memories. I had the most amazing 4 years here at this beacon on the hill. So again, it's a pleasure to be here this afternoon as your moderator. So, welcome to the final match of the USM Debate competition. And I'm your host, Katrina Grant de Aguilar, aka the girl from Grange Hill. And I'm thrilled to kick off this exciting evening. Are you ready? No, I want to tell you there are persons who are watching us online. Good afternoon for persons who are watching us on YouTube, Instagram Live. Let me tell you, it is going to be a very interactive session, engaging, so they can know what they're missing. They can hear from us. I do not like to have boring sessions, and even though this is a debating finals, we are going to enjoy it. Yes, yes? No, I can't hear you. Yes, yes? And I'm trying to help the teams to relax as well. So yes, yes. All right, so this afternoon we have two exceptional debate teams ready to take the stage and showcase their skills and knowledge. We have the College of Natural and Applied Sciences going up against the School of Religion and Theology. Can I hear the supporters of the College of Natural and Applied Sciences? Can I hear the supporters? Make some noise. All right, and can I hear the supporters of the School of Religion and Theology? Okay, let me tell you something. Many moons ago, I was a debater. It's a long time ago. I left NCU in 2008, so don't try to calculate my age. I'm still trying. I'm going strong. But I debated for Basso. And our final match, I remember our last match, that was my last match here at NCU. Guess which team we went up against? Just guess. SRT. Who won? Who won? Ah, my brother. Who said that? You said that? You said that? Okay. All right, so who got the best speaker? Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the best speaker from Basso. All right, so okay, fine. SRT, yes, you won. But yes, that's okay. But it was an exciting match. So I am a debater, so it brings back memories. SRT, I see you right there. So just before we hear the perspectives, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be hearing from the Provost of Academic Administration, Dr. Nanibala Paul. Make her welcome. Make her welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to this finals USM Debating Competition 2023. I want to welcome all the face-to-face audience here and also the virtual audience on various online platforms for this special event at Northern Caribbean University. I bring special greetings on behalf of our president, Dr. Lincoln Paul Edwards. He wanted to be here very much, but because of previous engagements, he's not here, but he's sending his wishes to both the teams and also wishes from university administrators and also from my office, the Office of Academic Affairs. I want to congratulate all the teams from different colleges who took part in this debating series thus far. And special congratulations to the College of Natural and Applied Sciences, Allied Health and Nursing. Please give them a round of applause once again. And also to the only school, the School of Religion and Theology, who have come to this finals of Debating Series 2023. Well done, teams, for reaching to this stage, okay? At Northern Caribbean University, the debating series is organized every year, and this is a very special event in the life of the university, and we thank the USM, that is United Student Movement, for organizing such wonderful extracurricular and co-curricular activities. When the debate is in the classroom, we say it is curricular activity. When it is in the university, we say it is co-curricular or extracurricular activity. So this is a very important activity in the life of Northern Caribbean University. So I want to specially thank the organizers, the wonderful judges here, the USM officers, and especially the USM Vice President for Academic Administration. Put your hands and thank Mr. Giovanni Baker for a very wonderful work, and also to our President, USM President, Mr. Giovanni Brown, the most efficient president that I have seen, and also to the Vice President for Student Services, Mrs. Carolyn Smith. Thank you very much for this wonderful event and for the organization of this beautiful event. According to Gladon, 2005, participation in debates. I hope all the students are listening, not only these teams. Participation in debates enhances critical thinking, creative thinking, problem solving, and builds links between words and communications, words and ideas. Many studies also show that debating exercise bring marked improvements. You know, marked improvements, not little, but marked improvements in academic skills, professional skills, collaborative skills, and emotional maturity, and makes persons as rounded humans and rounded citizens in the society. So this evening, we hope to have a very wonderful debate. Yes or no? Yes, I want the audience to support the teams. So I want to wish all the best to both the teams as you debate on the pertinent issues, and also the audience. We need your support. I want to wish you all the best as you support and encourage your teams. Thank you for giving me this privilege. Thank you for attending this debate series. May God bless us all as we go through this experience.
All right, thank you very much. Give it up once more, ladies and gentlemen, for Dr. Nanibala Paul. And now we will hear from Vice President of Student Services, Mrs. Carolyn Smith. Make her welcome, and the next voice you will hear is that of your USM President, Mr. Giovanni Brown. Make welcome.
Excitement is permeating this room, isn't it? I looked across, and even the judges were twiddling their fingers. All three were sitting like this. There is excitement in this room, and I can tell you I'm excited as well. I'd like to welcome back to the Hill, Katrina Grant Diagolo. We're so very proud of you, our alumnus. Now, I want to join. I'm almost repeating what Dr. Paul just said, but I really must congratulate our USM VP for Academics, Giovanni Baker. What an awesome experience this has been. Under the leadership, of course, of our USM President, Mr. Giovanni Brown. You are, as you've heard, building on the legacy that was established many, many years ago. So give the persons on whose shoulders you are building this debate series a round of applause, and we thank them. I also want to congratulate the two teams who have made it to the finals. The team from the College of Natural and Applied Sciences, Allied Health and Nursing. A round of applause for them. And the team from SRT. They're over there praying loudly, you know. Well, not really. God is with both teams, and we wish them all the best. Now, indeed, as our Dr. Paul said earlier, we in the Division of Student Services value highly debate competitions, debate exercise, because as she said, it builds creative thinking, it builds your communication skills, both orally and in writing. It strengthens your research skills and your presentation skills. It boosts your self-confidence. We can see the example over there, can't we? It assists persons in helping to overcome their fears. And it enhances strategies that allows you to do well in your academic setting. So those of you who have taken part in this series, whether your team has made it to the finals or not, we're expecting to see each and every one of you on the honor roll next year. Do you agree with me? Yes, we're looking forward to expanding numbers. And some bonus skills that you develop from participating in debates: creativity, camaraderie, and you'll see a lot of that this afternoon, leadership, and intrinsic motivation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking forward to a nail-biting finish this afternoon. If you're ready for this, say yeah. Give both teams a round of applause, and I wish both teams all the very best.
You know, there was some time ago when Winston Churchill was in a debate with some members of his parliament. And there was a rather raspy and rough lady who screamed across the room to him, "Mr. Churchill, if you were my husband, I would pour poison in your coffee to drink this morning." Winston Churchill replied, "Miss, if you were my wife, I would drink it." One of the greatest traits predicting professional progression is the ability to articulate one's thoughts effectively. And thankfully here at NCU, we don't argue like that, right? Right? Thankfully here, we don't argue like that. And I want to reiterate the movement's theme for this year: championing change, inspiring collaborations. And I want to acknowledge that this debate is the wonderful expression of that. I was there during the preliminaries when we saw all the clubs coming together, debating away, and they were all collaborating and growing. And I want to join personally in giving my commendations to you, Gio. You have done a fantastic job with the debates. I'm looking forward to the quiz, and I'm proud of you not only as my vice president, but also as my brother and friend. So thank you for that. With that being said, I'm going to keep today's greetings rather short, and I'm going to leave a thought with you. I kind of took it from my research greetings, because research day is far from now. The future does not belong to the learned. It belongs to the curious, to those that are prepared to ask questions. Why is this like that? How can we change it? How can this be made better? That curiosity is at the heart of creativity and competence. So my encouragement to you today is to stay curious, stay thirsty, and to stay humble. All right? Take care.
Stay curious, stay thirsty, and stay hungry. I sat over there and I was looking at the teams and I was like, okay, I wonder what's going through their heads now. Are you good, guys? You're good? You're good? You're good here? All right, awesome. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, welcome back to the final match of the USM debate for 2023. The motion being discussed in this debate reads, the House believes that music has an impact on crime rates, and it promises to be an exciting competition. I know you have your own personal views, but today we will be focusing only on the two teams. So sit back, relax, and get ready for the final evening of intellectual stimulation and engaging discourse. These teams are about to take us on a journey of ideas, arguments, and perspectives. Let the first match of the USM debate competition, let this match begin. And let me remind you of the rules, ladies and gentlemen. Teams must respect opponents. And of course, we all know no slanderous language will be tolerated. That does not happen on the Hill. Each speaker will be given 7 minutes, except for the final speaker, who will get 5 minutes. So each team will have 26 minutes to put forth their points. Between both teams, the match should last for only 1 hour. You hear that? 1. Judges will be given forms to allocate points and time after the debate to facilitate deliberation. They will have evaluation forms for all speakers, but the winner will be decided based on the team who accumulated the most points collectively. Judges, you're good? You're good? Nice. The team with the highest points that lost their match will receive a wild card entry. Well, these are just general rules in the semifinals. I don't think this one applies. But team CNAS, that's it, right? That's it. We'll debate the side affirmative of the motion, while team SRT will debate on side negative. I will now invite the first speakers. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something before I invite the speakers. Do you want to know more about our judges? You want to find out who our judges are? And for the persons who are out in the virtual world, we welcome our chief adjudicator, Terrain, right? Terrain. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to Terrain. We welcome our chief adjudicator, Terrain Wright, a member who was a part of the NCU debate team throughout his tenure here. He's also winner of the NCU Invitational Debate Series in 2019, second place Invitational Debate 2020, and 2-time finalist in the Jamaican Association of Debating and Empowerment JADE National Collegiate Debating Competition or Championship. He's also 2-time participant DCS Debate and Communication Exchange at the University of the West Indies. Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. Yes? S? Oh, West, a foreign something. People, ladies and gentlemen, that's a break in transmission right there. Let me do that again. Let me do that again, ladies and gentlemen. Let me fix that. He is also 2-time participant DCS Debates and Communication Exchange at West Georgia's University of West Georgia. People, it's not local. It's international. Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen. International judge we have right here. And I must tell you, my 4 years spent at NCU right on this hill, this lady is one I admire. I still do admire her, not just for her presence, her voice, but she commands this level of respect in a subtle, nice way. Yes? Yes, and she's a mentor and a friend to many. Yes? And ladies and gentlemen, we welcome Miss Noreen Daly, breaking judge, yes, at Global Health Debate Finals. Manila, Philippines. Listen, everything here is international. 2015, head coach of NCU debate team since 2013 and facilitator of the debate and argumentation course. I didn't have that course back in my time, Noreen. But, you know, thanks be to God, we did very well. And I got some from NCU because the journey continues. People, I'm a product of this noble institution. A beacon on the hill. I feel proud. Now make some noise, man. Make some noise. Yes. Straight out of NCU. Miss Trisha Gay Kelly. Trisha, wave to them, Trisha. One of the top students of debate and argumentation class in fall of 2021, a member of the swing team for NCU Invitational Debate Series for 2021, and second place in that match. She's also the DCS Platinum honor, listen people, it's a big deal, honoree for 2022 to 2023, and CEO of Kelly Dubs. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our judges. Are you ready for serious business? It's not an easy road, and many see the glamour and the glitter and they think it's a bed of rose. Listen, I was there, and I can tell you, my heart is moving, and I'm not the one speaking. I'm not going to come here to debate. Are you ready for the finals, ladies and gentlemen? Are you ready? All right, so Team CNAS will debate, as I said before, the affirmative of the motion, and they are represented by Jada Francis. Give it up for Jada! Anthea Adelaide. I met Anthea earlier. Beautiful Anthea. Jaden Forbes. Jaden. Listen, Jaden look like a serious scientist. You know, look at him sit down and say, wait for me and them. Yeah? All right. So, and of course, with 3 persons. So, Team SRT. You ready? Ready? All right. Othniel Lammy. No, man, make some noise. Is Lammy Lammy? Yeah? That's right. Okay. Tyrese Edmond. And Tajay Harris, ladies and gentlemen, Team SRT. You have supporters over that side. I don't know, your supporters are on that side. And then you have some supporters from Cenas on this side, so I'm not sure what's happening. But here goes. May I invite the first speaker of the proposition, this team, to come forward at this time. And right after that speaker, we will hear from the first speaker of the opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, you're joining us right here at the final Serious Business. My heart a bubble like trouble. Are you welcome for the speakers, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome our first speaker. Take it away. Make some noise. Okay?
Walking down the road from school to home was 12-year-old Johnny, and the street was filled with the sounds coming from his handheld Bluetooth speaker. He sang and rocked to the music, and the lyrics went like this. Rifle a beat, Johnstone. Lethal, reel off. Make boy bleed hard. Kill man in a me pretty sneakers. The song goes on to say, chop them up and put them in a garbage bag, and left them a town pan car. These are the lyrics from Jamaican artist Skillibang's chart-topping song, Wap Wap. According to Aristotle, music has the power of producing a certain effect on the moral character of the soul. Music can encourage and prohibit certain behavior. As such, we, the government, believe that the type of music is liable to bear some responsibility for appropriating or influencing some actions, whether negative or otherwise. That is why this House believes that music indeed has an impact on crime rates. Good evening, Madam Chairman, judges, ladies and gentlemen. I will set the stage for our argument, providing adequate background information for my second and third speakers, who will elaborate on the points of music impacting crime rate because of its effect on culture, its influence on conflict resolution and behavior, trend-setting, and artist influence. As defined by the Merriam-Webster, music is a vocal, instrumental, or mechanical sound having rhythm, melody, or harmony. Music is present in all parts of our lives, from our spiritual rituals where we sing our hymns, children learn the alphabet through song, or when we go to the stores at the mall and we hear songs during our free time. However, today we will be focusing on music that perpetuates and incites violence in any of its forms, whether it be through its lyrics or rhythm. Now, if we were to map out the sentence proposed by the moot, as regularly done in our English class, the next word of focus would be the verb impact, which means in this context to have a strong effect on someone or something. In its purest form, music has many impacts, such as setting the mood and creating atmosphere, dispelling depression, among so many others. But most importantly, music can play a significant role in determining what seems right or wrong, okay or not okay, and good or bad. Because of this, we need to be conscientious and intentional about the messages that we are putting out with our songs. Crime rate refers to the number of crimes that are committed during a period of time in a particular place. And in Insight's Crime 2020's Homicide Roundup report on Latin America and the Caribbean, it reveals that Jamaica had the region's highest homicide rate at 46.5 per 100,000 persons, with recorded killings of 131 in 2020. The United Nations considers any homicide rate of 10 per 100,000 citizens an epidemic, and Jamaica has 46.5, which effectively means that Jamaica has long been in a crisis situation. Wouldn't you agree? Now we want you, our judges and our audience, to actively listen to us with this disclaimer in mind, that we, the government, are in no way, shape, or form arguing that music is the root of all crime. And we are instead arguing that it has a major influence upon the crime rate of many countries, specifically in our small island nation of Jamaica. Now, Dr. Jenny, a physician and natural scientist, after much research, concluded that sound has a direct influence on human biology, and I want you to follow along with me. To confirm his statement, I bring forward the work of Dr. Emoto, who wrote in the book Messages from Water. It explained in detail how music affects the molecular structure of water. In one of his experiments, he placed water between two speakers in a freezer, and he played music for several hours. After the water was frozen, he photographed the structures formed. Now the water frozen from the classical and healing and soothing music formed beautiful structures. But the water frozen from heavy metal music formed disorganized and discombobulated structures. Now how does this link up? Our bodies are made of 70% water, and we are seen as students. So we're going to come to you with science. As a biological sciences major, I have found that it has long been established in traditional forms of medicines. Accepted.
Wonderful. You made mention of water. Remember, we're talking about crime here. I am not sure as to how water commits crime. I'm not sure as to how water are compared to human beings. And I am also not sure as to how we would compare water to humans in the context of the fact that humans have minds to make choices. Water doesn't. Water do as it's moved. Humans have a choice.
Thank you so much. If you follow along with me or listen to my previous statement, you would have understood clearly. Now, as a biological sciences major, I found that it has long been established in traditional forms of medicine that the health of the mind and the body are inexplicably linked. And as my opponent just stated, what does that have to do with anything? For example, excessive and repetitive responses to stressful experiences lead to psychiatric disorders such as depression and anxiety, and they more often than not lead to violent outbursts. I'm setting the stage for you. Therefore, if the water in our body, which takes up 70%, is disturbed by the music that we listen to, this will cause a stress response in the body. And if it is done repetitively, time after time, our minds will eventually suffer. Now, we are going to focus on a paper which is published in 2003 in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, reported that music can affect aggressive thoughts and feelings. During 5 experiments with 75 females and 70 male college students, those who heard a violent song were shown to feel more hostile than those who heard a non-violent song from the same artist and style. Now you may be asking yourself, Jada, why did you choose to use 2 out of 7 minutes to focus on biology? Now it is our biological makeup which first affects the way that we are hardwired, then that impacts our actions. But if your beliefs are not swayed by facts and statistics, let us look at actual evidence provided by well-known persons in the Jamaican music industry. Now, Winston W. Powell, a veteran owner of sound system Stone Love, is adamant. And to conclude, we know that music has a direct impact on the rate of criminal activity and aggression on a nation. I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am sure that is deserving of a bigger round of applause, or you've heard it from our first speaker. And the room is getting hot, ladies and gentlemen, and we're not used to heat in Mandeville. We're not, but it's getting heated right here. Just learning about the anatomy, everything from, yes, everything that's happening. Biology class, you say. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the first speaker from SRT. Make him welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I will give you my highlights and high points later. Keep the applause going until he gets here.
distinguished panel of adjudicators, my lovely audience, faculty and staff, students, I greet you. Picture with me, my lovely audience and judges, a young man brought before the prosecution for crimes committed, and the blame is placed on music as an excuse for committing the crime. Imagine how irresponsible and imprudent that would be. Journey with me as we weigh in the balance. Music does impact crime versus music doesn't impact crime. Today I will be setting the tone for my teammates as they instigate the fact that statistics have no proof and are not sure if music truly affects crime, and the fact that one's actions are totally dependent on one's choice. Let's consider the definition of impact. It means to have a strong direct effect on someone or something. On the notion, music has an impact on crime, I support the perception that this is a conflict of interest. To begin with, I ask you the question, what does the impact on crime has to do with society? What does the impact created on the society has to do with the individuals of the particular society? It all comes down to the choices that individuals make. These individuals range from the leaders down to the citizens. The individual has all privy to exercise his or her rights in entirety to choose. Listening to the song doesn't captivate the individual, but rather the individual has a vast majority of actions to choose from that is according to the will of the individual. Not only that, but is in accordance to the standards of courtesy. Due to the power of will and choice that gives the individual the power, to generate rational thinking that is not limited by any influence of music. Now, who commits a crime and when brought before the judge and asks the question, young man, young woman, what is this you have done? Says it's the music. Let me make known to you, go to prison. You're going to prison. In a society, and not only our society in Jamaica, but the world economy, where there are innumerable amount of platforms and mediums that offers learning sources, where materials and tools for learning is vastly available and accessible. It is the individual's responsibility to be circumspect and to fortify his or her mind, hence putting up a resistance against materials and agents that does not promote rational thinking or insights for responsible behaviors. Music doesn't have an impact on crime. Crime instead has an impact on music, since persons only write based on what is happening in their environment. What do I mean? Most of these individuals who write these songs, their songs are heavily influenced by their lifestyle. Their lifestyle supports their music. If in my heart I'm not a criminal, I will not do such actions. Songs don't impact crime. The hearts of criminals do. On the contrary, it is one with a criminal mindset who pens words expressing such activities. Music appeals to one personality, meaning we listen to songs and music that tells who we already are. Persons are already who they are. Therefore, it is they who impacts music and not music that impacts them. They change music and not music that changes them. They construct their orchestra based on who they are. The part of the music that appeals to the individual are the part that is aligned with their personality. If a person subscribes to a particular belief that is aligned with positive behavior, no matter the possible external factors like music that appeals to the impulses for them to compromise their beliefs, if it is that they've truly pledged allegiance to their original stance, nothing can deter them. Therefore, it is not music. It is the way in which it is being exploited. Proverbs 4 says, and we're all believers in the Bible and Christians, guard thy heart with due diligence. On that note, I posit to you, my judges and lovely audience, the heart of the problem is the problem of the heart. My fellow audience and judges, I rest my case.
The house is getting hot. The house is getting hot, ladies and gentlemen. As I sat there just listening to the debate, I'm telling you, I'm going back in time, and I was there and I was writing and I was responding from both sides. And I tell you, I have some thoughts I can't share because I'm not a debater today. I'm just the moderator. But just coming from our first speakers, ladies and gentlemen, when you spoke about, and Nasinas, when you spoke about the water and just how you brought that information to us, that in and of itself was thought-provoking. But I know there was a point of information saying that water has nothing to do with crime and what's happening. Let's see what happens later. No, music doesn't have an impact. I'm telling you the things that jumped out at me. Music doesn't have an impact on crime. Crime has an impact on music. Ladies and gentlemen, it's something for you to think about. You will learn more later on. All right, so give it up for our first two speakers, ladies and gentlemen. And now we move over to the second speaker of the opposition, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome the second speaker of the opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, make him welcome. And this is Jaden Force. Make him welcome.
Good evening and greetings, Prime Minister, honorable judges, audience, welcome. I will further emphasize our moot that this House believes that music has an impact on crime rates. You see, music impacts crime rates because it affects culture. Music influences the trajectory of culture and societal norms. And within Jamaica, music has an influence on the individual's behavior. According to the North Carolina Bureau of Investigation, factors that affect crime rates within a region include economic factors, education, religion, and cultural factors. Now, based on this article abstract, I will further emphasize that what constitutes to one's culture is not only their language, their history, their religion, but music. Music has the strongest impact on one's culture. And based on my research, I found that music serves as an expression of cultural influences within a group of people. Accepted?
In order for the influence to be made, the people must gravitate.
Understood? And also bear in mind that although music has an influence, not everybody is as morally structured as you may be, and not everyone is as subjective to removing that negative stimulus that music has on their mindset. Now, what can be concluded based on this evidence? Music is a medium for the expression of culture, and culture is the expression of the behavior. You see, music and culture has a correlationship. If one is influenced, the other is affected. Additionally, throughout all history, geographical locations, countries, races, and ethnic groups, music has always been a medium of self-expression that can either bring people together, reap disunity, incite love, instill hate and fear, reap motivation and encouragement, and prepare people for war or bring people for peace. Now, if you look at the ancient Vikings, before they went out to battle, they would knock drums and chant vigorous and vivacious words that would instill that trance of violence to go out and commit such heinous acts of crime. The Incas in ancient Peru used music as a form of healing and ceremonial sacrifice. The Native Americans incorporated music because they believed it was intertwined with spiritual, social, and moral philosophies. Our African ancestors who were transported by the Middle Passage sang songs that were common in their homeland because they believed that music would calm their trauma. Accepted?
Awesome. You mentioned that before they go into battle, they would chant. Didn't they chant already with the mindset of doing what they did, or did they chant it to get that mindset of killing? So is it the music that made them, or is it the music an expression of what they want to do?
Okay, let me educate you on the culture of the Vikings. Before the Vikings went to war, they would use a trance-like state called berserker. Now, this trance would get them in a more demonic trance to commit and to inflict heinous acts on the people of war, or the people they were trying to conquer. Now, if these cultures realize the impact of music on their moral philosophy and culture, side opposition, what makes you think that music does not have an impact on one's moral scope and behavior within a society? Let me bring this point closer to home on the presence of badman culture within Jamaica. The word badman is a popular slang invented during the infancy of dancehall culture from the late 1970s to the 80s. It is used to describe a man who is masculine, dangerous, rough, rugged, intimidating, and sexually successful with women. Coincidentally, the nature of dancehall music over time from its conception became more and more pollutive with elements of crime, murder, sex, and drugs. Up to recent times, songs like even Guard Up and Yahoo Boys have become prominent in Jamaican high schools. And if you would know, one of the most influensive period of someone's stage is during teenagers or young adolescents, right? And during that period of time, they are being peer pressured to listen to certain types of music. No matter what condition your heart is in, no matter what your behavior is like, no matter what your training was like. The fact is, every one of us, we're prone to receiving environmental stimuli, to be influenced, to listening to certain things. And once we listen to that music, it influences how we think and how we behave. Now, according to the Jamaican Gleaner from 1962 to 1974, manslaughter rates increased from 167% to 771%. In the same period, the moral quality of our music became more and more degraded, from soulful, conscious music made by Bob Marley to unruly and devious messages by morally questionable artists. In terms of conflict resolution, according to the study of Gresham College, music is a basic human impulse which precedes the formation of words. Where words often fail, music can be instrumental and successful in communication between divided individuals and communities. Music is a persuasive channel that determines how an individual handles conflict and resolution. Now, if we look at this within a Jamaican context, if we observe the crimes, one of the most prominent reasons why crimes are inflicted within Jamaica is not only because of gang violence or homicide, it is also by domestic disputes. And if you look at the nature of domestic disputes, there's a problem with how individuals handle conflict resolution. Now, if you observe the songs that are being made, New Gun for Boss by Ninja Man, Psycho by Tommy Lee, Don't Play With Me by Squash, and Kill Them by Vibes Cartel. And you know, the funny thing is, most of these aforementioned artists are either convicted or incarcerated. And the message behind their songs is impacting hundreds of teenagers. Now, you all seem to be ministers of the Bible. And if I remember correctly, 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16 says, all scripture is to be given by inspiration of God, and is profitable for doctrine, reproof, and correction, and instruction in righteousness. So I'm going to use the Bible to refute your argument. 1 Samuel 4, verse 23 says, and it came to pass when the evil spirit from God was upon Saul, that David took an harp and played with his hand, and Saul was refreshed, and the evil spirit was departed from him. So you're telling me God saw the importance of music being seen as a medium to remove the evil spirit from Saul. You can't tell me that God didn't see the importance of music in removing that evil spirit from Saul. Huh? Music is a medium. It's used to either influence us to do wrong or bad. I rest my case.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know we're just at the second speakers, but have you seen your winning team as yet? Have you? All right, so we'll save that for later. And it's almost like a Bible challenge. You heard that earlier. So they're ready, right? So it's not just about the sciences, all right? They're also ready on the other side where religion is concerned. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome the second speaker of the opposition. Make him welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
My level. Good evening, my fellow adjudicators, my beautiful opponents, my very intellectual team, and my beautiful audience. Good evening. Let me first start off this debate by making mention that I do agree with my opposition that it is indeed the environment and not the music. Now, the song says, "This me, you must be sick. And a 17, clap, lodge up in a this. My 45 feet, me clot it, nah miss. My finger move swift. My gun them now, or it says, then I saw me get corrupt. I saw me link Mama G for the product." Words, and just more words of popular songs that people only think has an impact on crime. But again, they're just words. This noble host believes that music does not, all caps, bold, underlined and italic, does not have an impact on crime in this country. Now, of course, you might be wondering, how is that even possible? But let me remind you of what the word impact means. Impact means to have a strong, direct effect on someone or something. Let me stress the word direct. Direct means, my opposition, without intervening factors or intermediaries. You know, I like games, but the game of blame makes my peace go up in a flame, and it can only be quenched by truthful rain. My opponents seem to be mentally stained and drained, but have no fear. I will help you your sanity to regain. When myself and my teammates are through today, we shall have you tear down the very ideology that music directly impacts crime and violence in this country. Now, based on what I said earlier, I want to now help you to understand a few reasons behind why myself and my teammates think music does not impact crime. Again, impact has to mean it has a direct effect on something. So unless you're going to tell me that a song literally took you by the hand and manipulated your body to committing a crime, I will say it does not have an impact on crime. Who the cap fits? Let them wear it. If I hear a song telling me to chop off a man's head, Pastor Hamilton, and leave his body filled with 15 plus bullet wounds, Mario, I can listen to that song for the whole day. Won't you agree, Mr. Gonzalez? But if in my heart I am not a murderer, I will never ever do as the song says. On the contrary, if I initially had the mind of a criminal, I will not only intentionally listen to the song that appealed to my personality, but I will proceed to willingly obey the words of the song. A man acts only according to his desires. If he didn't initially have the desire to do a crime, the music could never persuade him to do the crime. So why blame music for something you already wanted to do? It takes one with a criminal mindset to create such... Accept it.
We've never said that music directly causes crime. It's an influencing factor. We've never said that music directly causes crime. It's rather a persuasive or an influencing factor that increases crime. It's because of the presence of preconditional terms such as, economic status, people in poverty, the moral dilemma of a country. We're just saying that music already amplifies what is already there. That's our point. We've never said that music directly.
Directly? All right, on that note, I earlier gave you a definition. If you were quite listening, I did mention that impact means to have a direct. So if you're saying it has an impact, impact is synonymous to the word direct, which means it does have a direct effect on crime. As I was saying, music doesn't impact crime. On the contrary, it takes one with a criminal mindset to create such content promoting such actions. Why blame music for something you already wanted to do? Now, in the words, before I get there, only person with a similar mindset will go on to listen to those songs. As a Christian, I will not listen to dancehall unless I'm of that personality. So it takes one with a similar mindset to meticulously listen to said songs, which might matriculate into them actualizing the words of the song. Now let me quote the words of one you mentioned, my second speaker, Uncle Demon, as he's slanged, whose name is Tommy Lee Sparta, in a song called Redemption Song. He said, I'm just trying to make some music. I'm just trying to entertain. The demon thing, my audience, is just a character. Like a movie, Uncle Demon, a actor. See, bounty killer, I no killer. Ninja man, I no ninja. Elephant man, I no elephant. Mad cobra, I no cobra. Shensia is not a shen. It goes back to my earlier remarks about music being just words. Songs weren't created to give instructions. They were instead means of expressing one's emotions and thoughts. You may never find a song telling people to rob banks and scam. You will, however, find songs of people sharing their experience of robbing and scamming. Singers talking of their own ways of doing these crimes. Me sharing my experience of doing something is by no means influencing you to do the same, unless you already wanted to do the same. So whatever you do is totally dependent on you. A crime is mainly dependent upon one's thoughts. Now, as a student of the School of Religion and Theology, let me now use my book, my textbook, the Bible.
Point of information.
Will be accepted after this point. Let me now use my textbook, the Bible, to turn your attention to a story, which I want to use the moral of to convey a point. Now, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were in a situation wherein the king commanded them to bow to an image after hearing music. Now, we know the story that everyone bowed to the image, but as for these Hebrew boys, they stood for what they... I don't want to preach now. But these Hebrew boys stood for what they believed. And despite the fact that the music was telling everyone else to bow, because they were not of the nature of the music, they were able to stand firm on what they believed. Now, the music was commanding them to do something, but because they were morally not of that notion, they were able to, in and of themselves, denounce it. Now, not a problem. My teammate mentioned earlier that if you should be brought... Oh, time. Oh, not a problem. I rest my case.
Miss Daly, I think I'll be coming back to NCU for that class. I believe there should be one for retirees like myself or past students to go back, because just listening to these 2 second speakers, I feel as if there's something that is shut up inside of me that needs to come back out. Yeah, because I feel like I want to, re-enter the game. I must tell you, I heard the Bible challenge. We got to poetic justice. Ladies and gentlemen, It is indeed getting hot in here. If you're just joining us right here at the finals, for the debating finals for 2023, ladies and gentlemen, welcome and stay because the steam and the heat is on. Ready? All right, so we are going to take our third speakers. Yes, yes? Are you ready? Third speaker of the proposition. Let's see what will come and what she will bring to this space. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthea, make her welcome, Adelaide of CNAS.
Greetings. Protocol has already been established. My first point under the stance that music influences crime is that music is a trend. Music is influential. Point blank period. It's influential. According to Merriam-Webster, a trend is a prevailing tendency or inclination. In other words, a trend is what is popular at a certain point. Allow me to make known to you the fact that music has been one of the few constant trends to be in existence from the beginning of time to now. As a matter of fact, the oldest book in history makes known to us that music was present in heaven. Job 38 verse 7 declares that the morning stars sang together during the creation. Sang. Music. Another instance of this was in 2 Samuel 6 verse 5. One man by the name of David and all of the Israelites were declared as praising the Lord with songs and lyres and harps and tambourines and cymbals. Songs and instruments. Music. Then, let me bring your remembrance to spirituals. Negro spirituals, we all know them, right? Remember the song Troubles of the World? Sooner we'll be done with all the troubles of the world. Sooner, sooner we'll be done with all the troubles of the world. How does that song make you feel? Point of information?
So, the music in heaven was good, right? Would you say it is the music that caused Satan to be how he was?
Well, that was the only music present, correct? That was the only music present, yet Satan still ended up to be evil. Continuing, how does troubles of the world make you feel? It makes you feel encouraged to carry on with life, no? Because you know that soon it will all be finished. Soon you will have peace in paradise. And even if you cannot relate to that example, maybe because you don't know the song, I know you can relate to this. When you're in a happy mood, do you listen to sad songs? Or when you're in a downcast state, aren't you more inclined to listen to slow, sad songs? Proof that this psychological occurrence is true. When I play love songs like Ella May or Elton John or Queen Naija or even Whitney Houston, it is expected for me to hear, "Girl, are you in your feelings?" Because those songs portray a lovey-dovey ambience. In addition, the steady drum rhythms present in these songs release sex hormones in the body, thus increasing sexual arousal. Now, when we go into clubs, and even more and more we're being bombarded by them each and every day, these songs, these sexually arousing songs, partnered with alcohol, drugs, and other intoxicating chemicals, they distort our brain. They null the processing area of our brains. Thus, control over oneself is lost, and it becomes very easy to give way to passion, thus leading to increased violence and sexual assault. And the same is true for other genres, garbage in, garbage out. You are what you listen to. 1,113 Jamaicans were interviewed on whether or not music has had an influence on crime. The musical selection being expected was dancehall. 30% said that dancehall somewhat negatively affected crime, whilst 41% said that dancehall very much so negatively affected crime. Listen to this startling realization. In an online article entitled Here's How Music Can Add Meaning to Your Film, with subheading, "Your film is more than picture edits, dialogue, and sound effects." The source goes on to state, and I quote, "The score or goal is the subliminal emotional undercurrent of your film. It can make people cry, laugh, feel displaced, alone, or even awkward." And I would like to add an additional adjective to that list.
She did. Yes, throughout your speech, you've been making mentions to how music complements one's mood. I'm yet to find where it prompts one to commit crimes.
You didn't hear the part about the clubs and the sexual assault?
I get that,
I'm
but is
continuing.
it that
It's
the
not a
music
discussion.
is...
Not a discussion.
Wonderful.
So, the score, or the goal, is the subliminal emotional undercurrent of the film. It can make people cry, laugh, feel displaced, alone, awkward, or even violent. Now allow me to present to you the case of Patty Harris. Patty Harris, an American heiress from a wealthy family, was kidnapped at age 19 and later went to jail for stage robbery. Britain's foremost expert on brainwashing examined Patty's case and said that it was a case of forced coercion. How so? Her nervous system was kept under maximum stress by continuous playing of loud rock music. He continued by saying that a person whose nervous system is continuously under constant pressure can inhibit and exhibit paradoxical brain activity, where things that are bad seem good and good seem bad. Now, can you imagine this music blaring in the ears for long periods of time? It's not difficult to see how easy one can become changed by the music they listen to. And the Bible says in 2 Corinthians 3, verse 18, "By beholding, we become changed." If we listen to derogatory music, we will become changed, and crime will rise. I would also like to bring forward the impact of music had on some rats. These rats, we conducted an experiment. 3 races for cheese. The first one, all of them came out finding the cheese 8 minutes each. The second time, one rat had classical music playing in his ears, and he decreased the initial time by half because it said that he got more intelligent. The second rat had rock music playing in his ears, and he doubled the time. The last rat was a control rat. He had no music. He continued with the 8 minutes. And on the third trial of this experiment, the rat with the rock music blaring in his ears ate the other rats. He became vicious. If that doesn't tell you that music has an impact, I don't know what will. I take my seat.
The journey continues, ladies and gentlemen. We are winding down. It's getting hotter. And so we move now to our next speaker, third speaker, Tyrese Edmond. Make him welcome.
Good afternoon, judges. I'm a bit tall for the mic. Good afternoon, judges. Good afternoon, my opposition. Good afternoon, the beautiful audience. Despite my opponent's claims, my team and I still stand firmly on the statement that music does not impact crime. You see, our government, the upper class, and my opposition would love to give you all the articles in the world, despite not citing some of them, on why your music causes crime even though none of you guys here are criminals. See, the upper class has always found a way to villainize subcultures through research and propaganda. Follow with me. The reality of this is that oftentimes this research is biased. The perfect example of the propaganda would be 1963, when our Rastafari brothers and sisters were beaten, tortured, and killed in the name of simply being Rastafari. Under orders from who, you would guess? Our government. They claimed that they were thugs, unclean, and not fit to be a part of our society, but now every tourist brochure has a Rasta man and his colors. Another example of this, one that hurts my soul so much, is when they change up research, biased research. In the early 20th century, Benedict Davenport, a world-renowned scientist, was quoted and repeatedly cited in the medical industry on his genetic disharmony theory with an aim to scientifically support racism. His claims were that persons of different races would create children who are morally and intellectually inferior to their parents. Now, you know what's troubling? These claims are vouched for, supported, and preached in the name of upper class because science proved it. Just like this, America tells young black boys that they're violent and they're the problem. And all these facts are provided, and it's the same way them tell the ghetto youth and the regular youth on the road, say, his music is the source of his problems in his community, glossing over the poverty and crime-poverty correlation. Accepted.
You mentioned that there are articles that are biased towards proving that music doesn't have an impact.
Yes.
Where are the articles? Where are the substantial information that can prove your point?
Prove my point.
Yes.
All right. I would not have cited them here, but the reality of it is that you don't know for sure, and that's the problem. If you're reading a book and you don't know what facts are right, don't read the book. Then they tell you that Dr. A says so it must be true. Well, let me inform you that there's Dr. A and Dr. B. The research on this topic is no way set on the belief that music or any media causes crime. Let me show you how truly divided the research on music and crime is. Dr. Bushman, a well-known researcher, says that music causing violence is as sure as smoke giving lung cancer. Well, there's a Dr. B in the situation. Dr. Shelley, on the other hand, who is also just as renowned, said the entire media violence research field has been mismanaged with weak, inconsistent results. We've been sitting here listening to our opponents wondering what does water have to do with the human body, and have not received a proper correlation. There are poor measures of aggression and mismatch between theories and actual crime data. So who is right? My opponents would have found data that says music makes you aggressive. But I found research that says, from a research paper titled The Effects of Violent Music on Children and Adolescents by Douglas A. Gentile, that says, individuals exposed to longer periods of music have less aggression than those exposed to shorter periods of music. In other words, the longer you listen to this music, the less aggressive you become because of familiarity. While my opposition here is telling you that it causes you to commit crimes. Now, I'm not saying my point is true, but I'm asking you once again, who is right? More proof of altered information is America's claim of the spiking violence in the 70s due to media, including music. It was pushed across the country that violence was increasing. They made it known with data, statistics, and records, but Europe and Asia both had influxes of violent entertainment as well, with no such backlash. Who is right? Furthermore, according to the book Good Science or Moral Panic, when comparing the 70s to present right now, in comparison to previous decades, these previous decades were worse in crime than present time. In other words, despite television, movies, and what we're looking at right now, music, which has always existed, as my opponents would have said, becoming more graphically violent, and this violent, the crime rates have experienced a massive decline. The United States is apparently now the safest it has been in the last 40 years. Yet when we check the stats, news reports, and my opponents, they're going to tell you America and Jamaica at an all-time high because of violence in our music. It's simply not true. So now we stand here on the grounds and understanding that the research that directly correlates music with crime is shaky. We must also acknowledge the truth, because I'm not here to lie to you. Music does have an effect on your emotions. Accepted.
All right, would you acknowledge that music has an influence on culture, and culture has an influence on the individual, rather than music directly impacting that individual?
No, I've heard that over and over again, I think it's a egg before the chicken situation, Culture affects your music, not your music affecting your culture. All right. So we must also acknowledge the truth that music affects emotion, but it has no impact on crime. Let us reiterate the meaning of impact. Impact requires a strong direct correlation, and music does no such thing when it comes down to crime, but instead is dependent, as my opponent said, on preconceived mindset, and it vies with other forms of media for impact. According to a professor at the University of Iowa, a psychologist, he says for violent lyrics to promote violence in young people, it must connect such lyrics to their own lives. What young people make of popular songs depends not only on what the lyrics bring to them, but what they bring to the lyrics. How many of us grew up singing, "One man can't satisfy her, she needs more wood for the fire, sex price getting higher," and then came out as prostitutes? Not me. We must have present life experiences as a catalyst for long-term impact of music on the mind. So of course, there are short-term effects. That's not arguable. But violent songs breed hostile thoughts. Yes, they do. But according to the book Social Forces, the impact of violent songs only lasts a short time. Presumably, if the next song heard is non-violent or some other non-violent event occurs, then the short-term priming effects of violent lyrics will dissipate. These effects can be argued to be null, as most individuals have a wide array of songs, types, and choices. How much bandman you know? All right. Thank you for your time. I rest my case.
There is no place I would rather be on a Sunday evening. No other place than on the hill right here. I'm getting chills just sitting down. And every time I hear something and I want to rebut and I want to answer and I have points. Are you having a good time thus far, ladies and gentlemen? Have you seen your winner? Have you heard from your winners as yet? The 2023 USM Debating champions. Have you seen them? All right. So give it up for our third speakers, ladies and gentlemen. And now we move to our fourth and final speaker. And they will be, charging us. The rebuttals are here. They are ready, heated. And this is a point where, sitting down, you have to pay attention. It doesn't matter what's happening in your space, because I was that final speaker. And listen, me no drop no catch. Me hit it. Right there, no catch at all, all right? So are you ready for the final showdown, ladies and gentlemen? Are you ready? Make some noise! I want the persons who are watching us on YouTube, on Instagram, if you have Facebook, on socials, all socials. If you're joining us, ladies and gentlemen, have you seen your winners? If we have a chat, you can comment. If you're on YouTube and the comments are open, please go ahead and do so. If you've seen your winner thus far, it is getting hotter in here. So are you ready for the fourth speaker, ladies and gentlemen? Here goes from the proposition. Anthea Adelaide. Anthea will rejoin us. Make her welcome. No, man, hold on. We need big energy. This is where it's coming down. Big energy, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Greetings. Again, protocol has been established. The blame is placed on music. Point from the first speaker, and I quote. The blame is not placed on music, because how can it? There's just too many variables, right? That's not what we're saying. We're saying that music has an impact on the crime rate. It is not the blame of the crime. You don't know for sure. Third speaker, I think? You don't know for sure. So how can you say that music does or doesn't? But you have to consider, what if it does? Which it does. Music directly impacts crime. A point repeated from each speaker. And I would say to that, you're in the wrong debate, because the moot is not that music directly impacts crime, and that is not what my side is defending. My side is defending the moot that music impacts crime, not direct. Influence is different from direct impact. Let me make that known. If in my heart I am not a criminal, I will not do the crime. Do you know that we are all of our father, the devil? So in us, there is evil. So in our heart, automatically there's evil. So we are inclined to do so. Music appeals to one's personality. I do not have to speak on that. It was a point made by one of the speakers, and I quote, A man acts according to his desires. Again, we are from our fathers, our father, the devil. So we will act according to that desire to be of the devil and walk in his ways. We've seen it repeatedly, time and time again in the Bible. Even the greatest of greatest heroes, our prophets, stumbled. It's our innate desire, or rather innate inclination. If I am a Christian, I won't listen to dancehall, a point made by the opposition. So how many of you know of the latest dancehall song? How many of you know of one dancehall song? How many of you know of one romantic song? How many of you know of one drill song? But are you a Christian? No, you can't be, because you know of the song, right? If music doesn't influence your behavior, why do we have appeal songs at the end of sermons? What's the point of the appeal song if not to influence our actions, influence our decisions? I guess that should be omitted. Persons are already who they are. Speaker 2, I believe, said that it's just words. Words can't influence us. It's just words. So why do you read a book? If it's just words and you cannot relate to it, why do you read a book? Because each book has different scenarios, and I'm sure you haven't been through all of the scenarios in the books that you read, but it's just words on the pages. So again, why do you read it if it's not going to influence you and you're not going to relate to it? Similarly, the words in music we can relate to, even if we have not done it. You mentioned robbing a bank. No, the music doesn't direct us to rob the bank. It influences us to do it. It gives us means and ways to do it. And no, the person does not have to had to rob a bank. I have you know that many musicians out there, they don't write because of experience. They don't. Many artists who talk about killing have not actually taken a life. Learning materials, it is the individual's responsibility to be circumspect and rational. And then you said that it depends on the environment. And I agree. And this environment of the world is growing increasingly and increasingly darker as the days, as the moments go on. So you are undeniably going to come into contact with derogatory music, no matter how hard you try. And in the last speaker's presentation, you outright said that music influences your behavior. I don't know if you were helping us or something, I don't know. But that's what you said. Music directly influences our emotions. You said emotions, right? Not behavior. Our emotions. And how many of you act on your emotions? When you're sad, don't you cry? When you're happy, don't you smile? If something's funny, don't you laugh? Emotions, no? We act on them. Right. Thank you for agreeing. I don't think I have to say any more. Music impacts crime. Not directly impacts, it impacts nonetheless. I take my seat.
Impact, influence. Let this all make sense. Let's hear what will come from our fourth and final speaker from SRT. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on stage, Mr. Othniel Lammy.
That's right. Greetings again, everyone. Now, join with me as we go into a short segment of primetime news. Man charged for murder as the impact of music continues to grow. I'm Andrew Chisholm, Primetime News. Also in the news, a student from the College of Natural and Applied Sciences of the Northern Caribbean University blames cartel for recent fight in the school's cafeteria. You sitting at home listening to that, what thoughts? What rubbish? Nonsense. Rubbish. Let me get back to my Jamaican dialect. Let me now answer your questions directly. Not a question sign, not even a full stop, but an exclamation mark. Music does not impact crime and violence. My teammate mentioned earlier that if you were to be brought before a court for a crime you committed, one wouldn't even think of saying, Your Honor, it is the music to be blamed. I think it's high time that we stop showing hatred to music in its highest form. I'm sure we've all heard dancehall music before. I'm born as a Seventh-day Adventist Christian, but I cannot live my life, the 70 that God blessed me with, without hearing a dancehall song. And I'm almost sure that all of us here have heard them. But I'm also almost sure that none of us would actually raise our hands if it is that I'm to ask you that if you do everything that the songs tell you to do. Music does not affect crime. In an article released by the Ministry of Justice, in my closing statistics, in 2018, it is said that crime is committed 96% based on one's decisions and choices. The remaining 4% is built up of greed, anger, jealousy, revenge, pride, etc., etc. And from the list of 32 plus reasons, music is nowhere to be found. Today I ask that we stop writing off music because of the actions of people. Stop blaming the cat for the hair in the couch just because the cat is furry when all along the cat was outside. I want to help us understand today that, as my fellow teammate said, the heart of the problem is the problem of the heart. Let us no longer bind music to the words crime and violence. Let us no longer hold music by chains created by cruel thoughts of man, executed by their corrupt hearts. Let us instead hold music accountable for what it is, a means of expression. But in the midst of it, let us hold humans accountable for their thoughts, their wicked thoughts. Let us hold mankind accountable for their hearts, their wicked, callous hearts that the Bible said is desperately wicked without the influence of music. Let us now rest the case, defeating the very ideology that music affects crime. Because music was existence before crime came about. But when Cain killed Abel, music wasn't being played. You mentioned sexual. When Potiphar's wife tempted Joseph, music was not being played. I don't plan to turn this into a sermon, but the message is clear, my opponents. Judges, the message is clear. Opponents, audience, the message is clear. Music does not affect crime. The hearts of criminals do. I rest my case.
Ladies and gentlemen, this house is on fire. Do you agree? No, make some noise if you agree that the house is on fire. All right. So I was just coming on stage, center stage, when I looked over to Doc. And I saw Doc's face, and she's smiling ear to ear. Riveting discussions right here. Riveting debate series right here. 2023 debate finals. Have you seen your winners, ladies and gentlemen? Have you seen your winners? No, man, you have. Listen, back in the days when I was here at NCU from 2004 to 2008, and we're having debates right here, we're going to talk this evening and make noise as if the gymnatorium is filled to capacity. Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something. I tell you, I'm getting that, you know, I don't know what's happening to me right now, but you know, Doc, in your address, in your greetings earlier, when you spoke about the benefits of debating, let me tell you something. Sometimes when you go through some research and you find some information and you realize, guess what? It is a learning experience and you feel like you're armed and you just a fire, so whap, 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 whap. Yes, you understand? And that was the kind of debate I love it like that. And this has nothing to do with crime and violence. This WAP that I mentioned just now, ladies and gentlemen, is just a regular WAP. You understand? So that's it. But I tell you, it's interesting just sitting here listening, the research, the preparation, it is not easy. And I tell you, just come into the finals and you have the speakers preparing, you have the rebuttals being brought to us. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our debaters. And let me tell you something. Pass and say if you think it easy, come up here. So I know some persons are sitting down there, and I see the facial expressions. I'm looking at them at the back, as if, why wouldn't you say that? Why? Say it this way. Listen. You understand? But you don't know. He said they don't know. You understand? It's not easy. And I just want to say kudos to all the team members on both sides and all the participants throughout the series coming up. And I want to say thanks to the United Student Movement here at NCU. Give it up. Yes. Do we have, listen, I'm giving the judges time, you know. Do we have anyone here from Basso? I'm going to be a little bit biased now. Anybody from Basso? Come on. Make some noise. That was my, that was my school right there. All right, so there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The final debate for this competition has come to an end. Scintillating matchup. I want to hear your thoughts later on, but, you know, just how are you feeling? Was it a really, really, really tough match? Do you believe the judges are going to have a hard time? Can you find a song that would, you know, share with us how you're feeling right now? Oh, I hear SRT said champion boy. Champion boy, you know. You see, they know the songs. Seeing as what's happening, can I get a song from you? Huh? Oh my goodness. And they're taking over your role now, you know, because you have champion boy. They're the scientists. And them say, my God is awesome. So they're switching roles with you right now. I tell you, oh my goodness. There's some points just, you guys are very creative, critical thinkers. And I really love that. When you have to rebut, you have to be fast. You have, especially when it comes down to point of information, for you to respond right there. You're hearing what's happening, and I tell you, sharp like razor blade. Oh my goodness. So once more again, give it up for the teams, ladies and gentlemen. We have a promotional video. Gio, is the video ready? All right, awesome. So ladies and gentlemen, turn your eyes to the screen. Promotional video brought to you by the United Student Movement Debating Society. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. No man, Miss Luda said what kind of fenke clapping that. Give it up. Thank you.
You possess multiple ways in which to produce and capitalize. Having a skill is a chance to multiply labor.
As adults, the court system can bring a heightened sense of closure and give voice to the victim's plight. The justice system must prioritize the rights.
You can never fail. Which is stated in an article that was done just last year by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, by the Ministry. Daddy, I'm sorry, but I just can't do this. I just can't take it.
Mr. Chairman, if a student were to walk in here at this moment and rob everybody in the building, do you know what would happen? 2011. Persons are able to
one conducts themselves in literally every aspect of their lives. Meaning, if this part of the brain isn't fully developed, one might only be cognizant.
Why not put that money into prevention? The money that we spend at a secondary level is money that is an investment.
On-site opposition, all we're saying is this. You don't have to make it mandatory for our society to succeed.
No, I'm not only talking about reading, I'm talking about worship. I'm talking about
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for the video just now. The time is brought to you by Northern Caribbean University, a beacon on the hill. Give it up for your school or school right here. Now, I'm your host, Katrina Grant D'Aguilar, aka Girl from Grange Hill, and now I'll be having a little chat with the captains of both teams. We welcome the captains, so join me on stage. Come on, man. Oh, thank you very much. Clap them, right? So we're going to have this little interview segment, just a little chit-chat to hear what's happening in the space. I must first say congratulations. I know it's not easy being here on stage. It's not. I know the feeling. But I do want to find out, how do you feel? I'll start with you, Captain of SRT. How do you feel about making it to the finals? And who do you think won the debate? Trust me, if you ask me that question right away, I'm going to say my team, right? Yes, yes? All right, so let me hear from you, Captain.
The feeling that I'm having right now is gratitude.
Yes.
The Bible says be thankful in all things, and this is something I don't have to debate if I need to be thankful about.
Yes.
You know, if I'm going to be honest with my opponents, I don't want to brag, but I think we won.
Yeah?
I think we won, yeah.
All right, confidently saying SRT won,
Yes.
you took it home?
I'm quite confident.
All
Yes.
right, so ask your supporters to give you a shout out since you believe that SRT took it home.
If you believe that SRT won, please make a shout.
All right, so don't leave, stay on stage, and over to you, my dear. How does it feel? You know, making it to the finals, what feeling?
I think it's
What's the feeling?
Euphoric, because we've come a long way. The first match, it was just two of us, and our God stood up for us. Not only SRT can talk about God, you know, we have to big up God every time. And we're just so thankful and grateful to be here. I'm so grateful for my two lovely teammates. They stood up, and we rallied around, and we just worked together to be here in this moment.
All right, so I'm adding a question to the whole interview segment. What was the preparation like, though?
Which one of the
Getting
matches?
ready for the final
For the
match.
final?
Yes, finals.
Okay. Lord have mercy.
I see Othniel turning away. What was it like?
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yes.
Honest with you. It was waking up this morning at 8 a.m., writing from 8 to 12 and getting nothing. And then around 12:30 we met and we stood up, we went under the gazebo and we started to pray. And you see when you prayed, then the points just started flowing, back to back to back. Man.
So is there now a song coming to your mind as to what happened when you guys prayed? Let me see if that music have an impact on what happened. I'm just playing, you know, the advocate. Let me see what happened. Did a song come to mind?
Great is thy faithfulness.
Great is thy faithfulness. I tell you. Thank you very much. Don't leave. I want to hear from you as well as it relates to the preparation.
This morning we woke up and we did a shared Google Docs and we just compiled our information together because I think the core word or the core value that we're putting out is togetherness. So we came all equal points, all equal. If we had a point that needed to be developed, we developed it and we helped one another out. That was what was done today.
Thank you very much. And for other debaters out there, aspiring debaters out there, what final word of advice would you give students who love to debate but they are shy? So they believe that it's impossible for them to stand here at a lectern to speak on a moot, to debate a moot, whether you're the proposition or the opposition, whichever side. What advice would you give to them?
Honestly, first and foremost, just as you would research the moot, research how to debate, right? The information is out there, it's available, and once you can use your voice, once you can speak, even if you can do sign language, you know, you are able to debate, you know? And if you are afraid, put your words to God and He'll carry you through.
I tell you, thank you very much. And let me hear it from you, your word of advice or words of advice.
Just step out. I would say just take that step of faith because if it is that you say that you can't do it, you just be constantly sitting in that cycle. But once you make that step, the transition will be so much easier to victory because victory comes by taking the first step.
Right there, victory comes. I want to hear from judges. You ready or not yet? You ready? No, not yet. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, captains. You may take your seats. Thank you. But I just want to tell persons who are out there, just to add, persons who are out there, if you have a passion for debating, as they said here, work on it. You can research, you can work on your public speaking skills as well. But I do believe that some persons are driven from that passion inside. And what is important for us to understand as well is for us to accept our own uniqueness. Yes? Not all speakers will be the same. You need to understand your place, your pace, and where you sit on a team. And everybody is important. So you will find some speakers, they're hard and they're rivet and they're there and they command your attention. Then you have some speakers who will give you the facts and they will flow and they're the researchers. We need to understand that the teamwork makes the... No, I don't hear it. It's a teamwork that makes the... And also in debating, for persons who are watching us online, what is also important, you have to approach debating with an open... No, man, I want to hear from you. You have to approach it with an open... Let me tell you, in my second year here at NCU, Basso, when I debated for Basso, we got a theme. I didn't like it. It's something personally I did not believe in. It had to do with, I think, euthanasia. And, you know, being in church and you're thinking about it. And I'm saying, why did we get it? That we're going to back it. We're going to support it. And I want to tell you again about debating. You have to approach it with an open mind because we're in it to win it. We're not going to wing it, right? So you need to find the argument, you need to think about it, and you need to put your position forward. So it's not about what you like or what you would have wanted. A debater is a debater, right? A debater is a... And every single match you get better and better. So big up to all the debaters here and the aspiring debaters to come. Big up to NCU, big up to USM. So we have some more promo videos coming up, ladies and gentlemen. And you've heard it from our captains. The future of debating is indeed bright. And there's a short recap. You will see it right here on screen. So take it away, media team.
Discover your destiny at NCU, champions of the annual National Business Model Competition since its inception. Gain valuable work experience, move yourself up the employment ladder, boost your confidence to start your own business. Visit apply.ncu.edu.jm for the upcoming semester for the best values-based education in Jamaica today. NCU, owned and operated by the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Jamaica, Bahamas, Cayman, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. Call 963-7157 or 963-7254.
My name is Giovanni Baker. I am a final year student at Northern Caribbean University in the Department of Communication Studies. Now, when I graduated from high school, I was so shy, I was not confident, and also I did not know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know if I wanted to go to university, start working, which university should I go? So many questions in my head, and I did not know. I would have heard a lot of great reviews of NCU, it being a place where you can improve yourself, can develop excellence and achieve greatness. And because of that, I chose NCU. Upon choosing NCU, I would have been involved in extracurricular activities, such as playing football with my friends in my leisure time, being a part of the praise team for Week of Prayer. Yeah, there's so many other things. Academic debates, I've been involved in so much. And now I can tell you that the person that I am today, the improved person that I am, is as a result of NCU's impact on my life. The other day I got re-elected to be the Vice President of Academics for the United Student Movement, which is the governing body, the student government body of NCU. If you were to tell me that I would be the USM Vice President for Academics 4 years ago, I would laugh you to scorn. That is how amazing NCU's impact can be on your life. Northern Caribbean University is a place that will help you to grow. Northern Caribbean University is a place that will help you to improve and become a better version of yourself. Make NCU your choice.
Are you interested in student leadership? Are you burning with ideas on how to improve the experiences of fellow students? Do you have a good academic and citizenship standing with the university? If yes, the USM application period is coming up soon and we want you, yes you, to be one of the student leaders that will make a difference in this movement. If you are interested in any of the positions within the United Student Movement, feel free to contact the executive in charge of that sector in order to be mentored. The United Student Movement, unite with us. Together we achieve.
You possess multiple ways in which to produce and capitalize. Having a skill is a chance to multiply labor.
As adults, the court system can bring a heightened sense of closure and give voice to the victim's plight. The justice system must prioritize the rights.
You can never fail. Which is stated in an article that was done just last year by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, by the Ministry. Daddy, I'm sorry, but I just can't do this. I just can't take it.
Mr. Chairman, if a student were to walk in here at this moment and rob everybody in the building, do you know what would happen? 2011. Persons are able to
one conducts themselves in literally every aspect of their lives. Meaning, if this part of the brain isn't fully developed, one might only be cognizant.
Why not put that money into prevention? The money that we spend at a secondary level is money that is an investment.
On-site opposition, all we're saying is this. You don't have to make it mandatory for our society to succeed.
No, I'm not only talking about I'm talking about democracy. I'm talking about civilization. Where the money is coming from a government.
Ladies and gentlemen, you see, the music is touching me, you know, because when the music hits, you feel no pain, right? This week was pregnant with excitement, and we have seen and heard the debates and the arguments. But now it is time, ladies and gentlemen, to announce the winner. But before we do so, we will start with the issuing of certificates of participation to all team members who participated in the competition. There's some persons who are not here this evening, but we will still acknowledge them, so here goes. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations are in order to the College of Business. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Basso team. Lemony Hamilton, Kerryon Malcolm, Philip Graham, and Nicholas Ellis. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations also to the College of Humanities. Theo Knight Tomlinson, Kalia Johnson, and Nicolay Gunn. And Anna Earl. No. Ladies and gentlemen, now to our finalists here on stage. We're going to invite the following persons to join us on stage. Giovanni Brown, USM President. Giovanni Baker, VP Academics. Dr. Paul, and VP Student Services, Mrs. Carolyn Smith. Please, thank you, they're here. So to the finalists from the SRT, the School of Religion and Theology, we welcome on stage, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Othniel Lammy. Come on, people, make some noise. It's almost time to go home, but make some noise. So you're just going to take it nice and take a picture and smile. Smile for the camera. And thank you, Shelley, my batchmate from 2008. Yes, we can't wait, never late, don't hate. Are we them right? Yes? All right, Shelley. And here goes. We welcome Tajay Harris. Welcome, Tajay. Keep the applause going, ladies and gentlemen. You changing positions? Okay. Tajay Harris. That's actually Othniel, but yes, Tajay is coming next, right? Tajay Harris. Thank you very much for the persons who are clapping. There's a special place for people like you. Yes, I like it. I love it. Congrats, Tyrese Edmond. Tyrese, the captain. Tyrese. Tyrese. Shelley, you have Tyrese Edmond? Tyrese Edmond? Oh, the cert is here. Thank you. All right, so from the College of Natural and Applied Sciences, ladies and gentlemen, hey, are you ready? Coming to us, Jada. Miss Jada Francis. Jada Francis. Clapman, thank you very much. You're all a big deal. Not a one piece or a small fries. A big deal right here. Anthea Adelaide, ladies and gentlemen. Make her welcome. Anthea Adelaide. I'm leaving the lone male, you know. I'm not leaving you for last, you know, but that's how it is. We're, you know, just showing up. Anthea. And the king among the queens, ladies and gentlemen. Jaden Forbes. Jaden Forbes. And thank you, Auntie Shelley, for the lovely bags. I see the certs and I see some nice bags coming, some special gifts. Yes. And our colors are being repped right there. The blue and the yellow and the white. Beautiful. Thank you. And thank you to our presenters. Thank you very much. I thought I said the music wouldn't carry us over. I'm I'm coming up. I'm not going to say on the rough side, because it's not my duty to announce the winner. So I'm not the one on the rough side, ladies and gentlemen. I must say thanks to the judges, but our chief adjudicator will join us on stage. Mr. Terrain Wright, ladies and gentlemen, make him welcome. He will be making the announcement. So if you're watching us on YouTube, put in the comments, who do you believe will take the title for the debating champions for 2023? Over to you.
So, good evening, everyone. I must say, Mr. Speaker, motion before the House reads, I'm just kidding. But I want you all, before we go even further, to just give a loud round of applause to our debaters. They did really well. And you might think that the debaters had it difficult. The adjudicators had it worse. Trust me, especially when you have two teams of such caliber clashing with really what you'd call encouraging and persuasive arguments. It can make it a bit difficult to pick a winner. So in my opinion, I'll say both teams are winners. But in the spirit of a competition, there can only be one winner. And before I announce who that is, I'd just like to share some ideas or some thoughts that we had from the match. So it was a very, very, very interesting match. I was quite entertained, and I can definitely say, Miss Daly, you need to see if you can get some of these individuals on the team and in the debate and argumentation class, because trust me, the future is looking good. As it relates to the arguments that we've heard today, and to really contextualize the entire match, I'd like to put what I'd call the clash of the debate in my mind. So, the clash of the debate was a criminal mindset there before or after music. Did the music create that criminal mindset? Right? Or was it already present before? Was that already an intrinsic part of the individual? Or did the music have some role in creating that? That essentially created the clash in the debate. So we heard arguments coming from the government side saying that music is not the root cause, but it is a major influence. And there are scientific examples that they cited to show just how music can influence one's emotions and feelings, which then influences the actions. So we heard that from the government. We heard from the opposition, though, that actions is dependent on one's choice, and that the hearts of criminals would have already been intrinsically present as opposed to being influenced by the music. Moving further in debate, we heard from the government as well the idea that not everyone can reject the negative stimulus that music creates. And this is a very solid point from the government's bench. They also added further that music can do many things, such as incite people to commit acts of war. And they contrast it to say that whilst music has negative influence, there's also positive influence as well. Moving on again to the opposition bench, we heard the idea that a man acts only on his desires. And they would have cited several examples to demonstrate that there's an innate feeling or desire to act upon certain actions that was already present before you'd had external stimuli. So I must say that this was a very, 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 very close match. I want to commend side government for their, what you'd call, sticking to the rigors and rules of debating, role fulfillment, being organized and structured. They had that in their camp locked. Side opposition, they gave us very convincing arguments, and in announcing the winner of the match, it wasn't a unanimous decision, it was a split decision. A very difficult deliberation period, and I'm sure you're ready to hear who won, so let me shut up and get right to that. So, the winner of the USM Academic Debates 2023 with 49 points goes to the School of Religion and Theology. Congratulations to both teams. Congratulations to the School of Religion and Theology. Well done. It was a very, very, very rigorous debate and a very, very rigorous adjudication process as well. Commendations to both teams. And I would say, as it relates to Best Speaker, there is a tie between Ms. Jada Francis and the Deputy Opposition Leader for Best Speaker. Othniel Lamy, that's it? Yes.
Wow, wow, wow. What an evening. What a debate. I just want to congratulate the School of Religion and Theology on an awesome victory. Well tried, College of Natural and Applied Sciences. You really came through. I'm extremely proud of you because you were, you were one of those teams during this competition who were always at, I could say, wit's end as it relates to sometimes. I think the first match you won, you only won it with 2 members on a 4-seat debate. So round of applause for them. And you made it to the finals. So well done. So my job here right now, you'll be seeing me again soon, is to give the SRT majors their trophy, and not only their trophy, but their gift sponsored by the Manville Resorts. Day pass. So gentlemen, don't stress over Greek. Don't stress over Hebrew. We have a day spa. What is it? Let me read it. So it says, congratulations, you are the winner for 1-day pass to the Manville Spa and Wellness Resort, 7 Forest View, Hatfield. You don't need to worry about the address, we'll get you there. So congratulations, and I'm going to get the trophy and present it to you. All right, sound engineer, put some bass on my mic, please. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the 2023 USM Debate Championship goes to SRT. All right. We'll now hand over back to our host, Mrs. De Aguilar.
What an afternoon into the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up once more for the debating champions. And of course, SRT and CNAS. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. I must say a special thank you to our sponsors, the NCU Alumni Federation, for the gifts presented here earlier, and also our winners. They will be taking home a day pass or a spa day at the Mandeville Spa and Wellness Resort. And I know that's necessary because I know the tension in the shoulders. You know, when you're probably you stayed up to research, so you need to get a massage and a facial. I don't know what else you'll be getting as part of the package. But again, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. So give it up for our judges. Thank you very much, judges. Thank you. I know it was much work, yes, and Chief Adjudicator, you said it well here. I was listening, you had the points right and everything, so great job to our adjudicators here. Ladies and gentlemen, it was an absolute pleasure to have been your moderator for the evening, yes. A proud daughter of the soil right here. Beacon on the hill, I tell you. When Gio reached out, and of course, Shelly and I, we were in the same year group, so that the connection was made. And when Gio, he's an amazing gentleman, I must say. His mom is here. You raised a good one. And yes, you did. We have to big up the men, you know. We have to big up the men, big them up. So where much is given, you know, sometimes the work is a lot when you have that leadership role. But just continue, just keep going on, Gio. There's much work to be done. And President, we want to say from Gio 1, Gio 2, it's all about Gio right through, right there. So, yes, I journeyed, I hail from the beautiful parish of Westmoreland. I'm a daughter of the soil, a true country girl. And I must say, I commend NCU. For the 4 years I spent here on the hill, I have blossomed, I have bloomed, I have gained wings. Because you know, when you're up on a hill, you have a different view. Right through, you know, right through, you have a different view. And I went out there in the world, in the same year I graduated from NCU, I won Miss Jamaica Festival Queen the very same year I left NCU. And I tell you that this university, this noble institution molded me. I was very involved in Rotaract. I was very involved in debating. I was very involved in drama. It's holistic education for me. So represent this brand because it is big, it is bold, it is beautiful. Right? And we need more ambassadors, we need more persons to believe and represent. And one thing I must tell you, the journey must continue. The story must be told. Determination is more valuable than gold. Give me something. When you give a little more, a music now, you know, then you take. Listen, this is not Rising Star, and Anthony Miller is not sitting in front of me. But if you want to see Katrina again, ladies and gentlemen, vote 0001. Have an amazing evening, ladies and gentlemen. I head back to Kingston, but before I do so, I invite Gio to come and bring us the vote of thanks. For those watching us online, it was an absolute pleasure. Good evening.
My name is Harold Clean. I'm the president of the NCU Alumni Federation. And so on behalf of my executive, all the chapter presidents and their executives, and the wider NCU alumni body, international, we want to warmly greet and to congratulate all the participants, the judges, the hosts, the moderators, the runner-ups, and the champions for this USM Debating competition. It is aptly said that winners never quit and quitters never win. And so to the extent that you've taken this to the end and we are here today in this event, it shows that you're all winners because you did not quit and you're here to the finish line. But certainly for our champions and the runner-ups, your hard work has paid off. But we want to ask you and encourage you to continue the journey. This is just one step in your journey. You are honing and developing amazing skills that we as alumni have found to be worthwhile and have allowed us as alumni of NCU to make meaningful contributions to this world. What are some of these skills? Intercultural skills, such as that allows us to see the perspective of others, has been beneficial to us. Critical thinking skills have set us apart in so many ways. And more than ever, being able to communicate, but not only to communicate, but also to communicate with respect, with civility, and with understanding and empathy sets us apart. I want to encourage you all to continue to hone these skills, foster these skills, develop these skills, because these skills will continue to make you and set you apart. Congratulations. We look forward to each of you becoming a part of the NCU Alumni Federation after your successful graduation. It is an exciting opportunity that we are now able to join you and to support you in this journey. Let us work together to forward and advance NCU, because there is no you, there is no NCU without you. God bless you.
All right, what an evening we had this evening, and it wouldn't be a good evening if I did not pause to say thank you. So it's my duty to pass the vote of thanks. Now, firstly, as a media student, I've realized I did a course named Television Broadcasting. And it's not an easy course because hosting is not an easy thing to do. So I just want to say thank you to all the hosts, Miss Daly, hosts, yes. From Matthew Wright, Tuesday evening, to Mario Lewis, Alexius Gonzalez, yes, my brother and friend. And also to Mr. Wow, I'm not good with names. I think that's it. Those were the preliminary round judges. And also to the hosts, sorry. And also to the host, our moderator this evening, Mrs. Katrina Grant. She's so awesome, Mrs. Katrina Grant D'Aguilar. It was a pleasure to meet you. And you know, I even told her this evening, I was so surprised at her response when I reached out to her. She was so transparent, so humble. And you know, it's a life lesson to us, guys. Keep humble, no matter the accolades. Keep humble, and you won't stop achieving. So before we go further, I want to give you this gift that was sponsored by the NCU Alumni Federation, as well as to gift our 3 judges this evening, Terry Wright, Trisha Gay Kelly, and Miss Noreen Daly. Don't you guys love the fit? Oh boy. Awesome young lady. Yes, so the judges, yes man, it's your day, you know. It's your time to come on the stage, Miss Daly. Terry Wright, our chief adjudicator. Oh, you're not coming? Okay, you'll receive it afterwards, no problem. I also want to, before going further, I want to thank my advisor, Mrs. Shelley Gaykoff. I told her before, and I'm telling you now in front of people, I couldn't have done this without you. The next lady I couldn't have done this without is my beautiful mother, Georgette Hills Baker. I mean, without her, I wouldn't have been born, you know. Yeah. Yes, I big up mommy every time. Also to our judges this week, Mr. Brian Koff, Mr. Truston Grizzle, Ms. Trisha Gay Kelly, and also Mrs. Amanda Simone Grosset, a UK from not London, from the UK, you know. She graced us with her presence. Also want to thank the USM finance sector. How could I forget? Big up VP Anne Fry. Big up the treasurer Romario Griffiths. Also want to thank the USM projects team. Every evening, yeah man, without fail. Even if it's a twisted donut, they're out there selling them. Yeah man, speaking of which, we have some over there. But it's not free. Thanks. I want to thank Mrs. Bobette Coke as well. She ensures that we get the tables, the location. You know, you have to send in your approval on time, and when you don't do it, you know, she has to talk to you sternly, but she'll always help you to get it done. Yes, man. Thank you so much, Mrs. Coke, and also custodial services. Now, the last time I did a vote of thanks, I made it my point of duty to thank them, because I realized I came here, I think, 2 o'clock today, and the place was not how it looks now. Thanks, custodial. I want to thank University Stores and Transportation. My father, oh, he's here. Big up Mr. Baker, Uncle Andrew. Enough love. And you know, I wouldn't be a DCS student if I didn't thank the Department of Communication Studies. You understand? It's not department, it's department. Thank you. The NCU Media Group for streaming this event. If you guys want to go back and trust me, guys, sorry, I have to say thanks to you guys, you both. This was an awesome debate. And when I reach home, Obviously, I'm going to sleep for real, mommy. I'm going to sleep tonight. But after I sleep, I'm going to go through those videos and cut it. This was an awesome debate. It was so amazing to hear the different perspectives coming from both sides. I remember when I gave you your side of the debate, Othniel said, oh my, I wanted side affirmative. You proved yourself today. Even though you got a side that you didn't like, you defended it, and you won the debate. So congratulations to SRT. We also want to thank our sponsors, the Mandeville Resorts. They gifted our winners today with the day passes so they can enjoy themselves and get a massage, you know. So if you guys want a massage, study SRT. All right. And the NCU Alumni Federation is headed by Mr. Harold Clayton, who gifted us with these different gifts that the two teams got. And lastly, but not by no means least, we want to thank God. Without God, we don't have the faculties to even think. So thank God for what he has done for us today. Thank God for helping me to pull off this with the academic sector of the United Student Movement. And thank you, NCU. All right, that's it. And before we go, I forgot to mention this in my vote of thanks. I want to thank Taniel's Driving School, who after SRT's victory consented to driving them to the Mandeville Resort for free. Can you imagine this man with his business? Oh gosh, God bless you, Sir Lataniel. Yes, man. Thank you all for attending as well. I can't leave out the audience. Clap yourselves. Yeah, man. Thank you.